La botamos, mi.
This is the shot. Yeah, buddy. Orlando.
My goodness. I didn't have enough time last night to watch the Xander Zayas versus Abass BARAOU fight due to the fact that Teofimo Lopez Shakur Stevenson fight was going down, UFC 325 was going down, but I literally just woke up right now, and this is my instant reaction to the fight, the unification junior middleweight title fight between Abass BARAOU and Xander Zayas fighting for both WBA and WBO world titles. Look it, man. Although I did see a couple times during this fight where Vergil, Ortiz, guys like Jerome Boots and Sebastian Fundora may be able to capitalize on a couple flaws that Xander Zayas has. One thing that I'll say is that this guy at 23 years old is absolutely fantastic. The way he outboxed Abass BARAOU in his homecoming fight in his home country of Puerto Rico last night was absolutely fantastic. Utilizing movement, the jab, utilizing angles, staying behind that jab, not letting Abass BARAOU put him up against the ropes, cut off the ring, or even set his feet, set his traps to lay on those hooks, those combinations. Every time Abass BARAOU tried to let off a combination, Xander Zayas was out of there, was ducking under the shots. Great defense, great movement, and a fantastic jab. The jab was a thing of beauty. Not only did Shakur Stevenson absolutely utilized that sniper jab, won the fight off that jab against Teofimo Lopez, but Xander Zayas' jab against Abass BARAOU, the movement, the angles that he was hitting was absolutely fantastic. Xander Zayas, not only did he win me over with the performance that he gave us leading up to the 12th round in his homecoming fight against Abass BARAOU, but in that 12th round, decided in a world championship fight where you see a lot of boxers nowadays, if they are up in the cards, if they've won every single round, what do they do in the 12th round? Coast to a victory, run around that ring, celebrate 20 seconds before the fight has even ended, right? No, Xander Zayas. He stood right there in the pocket with Abass BARAOU and was getting clipped with big hooks, but still didn't care. Wanted to give his Puerto Rican fans, his homecoming fight, everybody that he loves over there, something to remember. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was watching that fight, seeing the way it finished and said, my goodness, Xander, now this is what we're talking about. This is what we want to see from just a young 23-year-old hardcore fighter like you. Not only can this guy bounce around the ring, use his movement, stick that jab out there to win a fight, but if he needs to and he has to bite down and use that heart, he can. Even though he was getting clipped a bunch of times. I said to myself, now that's a warrior. That's who I like to fight. That's who I like to see fight. My goodness, man. Vergil Ortiz, Jerome Boots and Sebastian Fundora and these guys definitely probably watched that fight and seen a couple flaws. Xander Zayas, even though he has a fantastic jab, there are times where he puts that left hand down. He's standing in the orthodox position, got his left hand up, throws it out there, boom. Sometimes he puts it down here, boom. Kind of like how Teofimo Lopez was doing, right? We've seen Shakur Stevenson absolutely take advantage of that. Just from the southpaw position, sticking that out there, dot, right? Sander Martin, somebody who was catching Teofimo Lopez coming in with a check right hook. The same exact thing. All that is due because your defense, your left hand ain't up and gives people advantages. You can see it. You've seen it against a guy like Xander Zayas, and I've seen times Abass BARAOU catch him. And I said to myself, if that is a guy like Vergil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora, Boots Ennis, I'm just a regular father making videos on YouTube covering the sport. Could you imagine what these world champion trainers and world-class boxers are watching, seeing the flaws in somebody like Xander Zayas? It's gonna end up catching up to him if he doesn't work on that. Just like it caught up to Teofimo Lopez, because he didn't work on that. He didn't fix it. This is the same issue that he had years ago. Still happening right now. So Xander Zayas, that's all I would say about that, man, is his power is really another problem. You know, as you can tell, it didn't really hurt Abass BARAOU, didn't drop him at any times, didn't really wobble him, get Abass BARAOU absolutely hurt. And he's only 23 years old. So I feel like at the same time, even though he's not hurting none of these guys, he's very young. If this guy was a 30-year-old man with man strength and higher ring IQ, more experience, could you imagine how good Xander Zayas is gonna be? He's only 23 years old and just unified the world titles. I'm gonna tell you like this, dude. I absolutely love Xander Zayas' performance. I know there's a lot of critics out there. I see people in the comments of the fight saying, nah, this guy's going to get knocked out by Vergil Ortiz, all this and that. Maybe so. But one thing I'll tell you was this was an absolutely fantastic performance. And I believe this has even got him more and more up there. He's a unified champion. The only other champions in this division are Josh Kelly and Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora is going up against Keith Thurman in March, right? Josh Kelly just became the IBF champion, defeating Bakram with a beautiful jab as well. Same thing for him. Beautiful movement, beautiful footwork. That is what won these fights last night. Movement, the jab, and the feet work. And I'm going to tell you, man, Xander Zayas has got a bright, bright future. I'm excited to see who they're going to line him up with next. I don't know if it's going to be up against Josh Kelly. I think out of all the champions in the junior middleweight division, Josh Kelly might be the easiest one to beat, even though his movement causes problems for anybody. I do think he's going to be the easiest one to beat. Xander Zayas, Josh Kelly, an absolutely fantastic fight. I don't know if it's going to be filled with fireworks, but what I do know is it's going to be a technical fight. And you heard Xander Zayas calling out not only Josh Kelly to come to Puerto Rico, but Oscar De La Hoya, you know, trying to bring Vergil Ortiz to Puerto Rico. I don't know if he really wants that. But one thing I'll say is that this kid got a bright future, man. Great fight, great performance. Absolutely dominated Abass BARAOU. Great things coming for the young Puerto Rican kid at 23-year-old. I think we forget a lot of times that this dude's only 23 years old. Amazing performance. Let me know what you guys think, man. This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel.